Hello, my name is Brianna Turner, and I am going to discuss my family tree. So, some interesting things about my family is that we're different people who come from different places, but we all mix together to create what is called a family. And though there's been separations and multiple of arguments and fights and all that type of things, that's made us a very stronger family. So this is my family. First, I'm going to discuss my grandparents. So my grandparents on my mother's side of the family, their names are Edward Douglas and Loretta Elizabeth Douglas. Another cool fact about my family is that my middle name comes after my grandmother's, and hers comes from her mother. My mother was the only one who got stuck with the middle name Ann. And my grandfather, he's from New Rochelle, New York, and my grandmother is from Charlottesville, Virginia. So my grandfather was married to a woman before, and they separated, and they had two kids. And he met my grandmother, and they came together and had two more kids. So my grandmother played a mother role to my two half uncles who really do love and appreciate her, especially because their mom wasn't in the state of mind to be able to provide the love and care and nurture that mothers tend to provide. So that is coming from chapter 13, where we talk about remarriage and bringing adolescents together and trying to create a new home and bringing people from different backgrounds and upraisings to create what we call a family. So this is my mom's side of the family. That is Loretta, and she's still alive today. She is 85 years old. And then my grandfather, rest his soul, he died when I was 3. And so I never got to really meet him. But from what they say, he was a really sweet and honest and genuine man. Moving on to my father's side of the family, my father, I never had the opportunity to really know where his side of the family came from, but my father was born and raised in Danville, Virginia, so I'm assuming they were born and raised around that area too. My grandmother passed away when I was in the 9th grade. She was the sweetest lady. It's been said that she is part Cherokee, and then my grandfather is just African American. But this is them. This is Preston. That's my dad's father. And then this is Minnie, and that is my dad's mother. And this is a picture of my father and my grandmother at my mom and my dad's wedding. My parents divorced when I was 7 years old, so I tried to keep a lot of pictures of happy moments like this when, no one knew that there'd be a separation. So this is my mother and this is my father. My father is one of 7 and he is the youngest. He has mainly sisters and then 2 brothers. And then my mom is one of 4. And like I said, she had older siblings because my grandfather married into the family with previous children from a previous marriage. So this is like a rare photo of my parents smiling and having a good time together. It means a lot to me. I keep it. So what their relationship was is discussed in the book about divorces. So yeah, we're talking about divorces with this one. This is another picture of my mother. She's so beautiful. I'm very close to my mom, and my relationship with her is very close. And then this is a picture of my brother. His name is David. And then my father, whose name is David, and then me. And a funny fact about us is that my mom's name is Denise, my dad's name is David, and then my brother's name is David, and then I kind of got stuck with Brianna. But to relate this to any issues in the social system, I believe that I know that my grandparents, as well as my mom and dad, experienced some type of like racism within their community, within their society. Especially my mom, because she is fair skinned, and growing up in those times, they would call her white, and she didn't like that. She got into a lot of fights because she was seen different from her peers, as well as other people would call her white just to try to kind of pick on her, as well as my grandmother experienced the same treatment where she was in a post office one day and in like a DMV one day, excuse me, and back in those times, from the story she told me, that they would have tests to see if you were black or if you were white to be able to get your opportunity to vote and do stuff like that. So they did a test on one of her other friends where they looked at her hair, looked at her skin tone, and other things about her. But when my grandmother came up for her time to register to vote, they thought she was white, so she didn't see as much, ridicule as other people did. And I believe that bothered her a lot because she was a part of the African American community, but she was shunned from white people who knew she was black, but she was also shunned from black people for having a lighter skin tone or looking, white. So that's judgment within her society. Then, like I said, my mom's side of the family went through things like the remarriage process, where you merge into families together to create one whole family. I believe that worked out great for them because my uncles were looking for a mom. And then another topic that relates to my family tree and to the book is divorce. So my parents divorced, like I said, at a young age. It was hard on me, but I can only imagine that it was hard on my brother because we're 4 years apart. So I was 7, he was 11. He had a clear indication of what was going on. So that is a touchy subject that we don't often get to talk about. But in the black community, I do believe that males and females should start discussing how it makes them feel to have one parent absent from their life, or have two parents absent from your life, or for things to be one way for this amount of times and then them to change, and how that affects you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So this is my family again, and I hope you enjoyed listening to my project. And this is my family, and this is my family tree. Thank you.